Because of all the rain we just received, flooding continues to cause issues across our area, including Elkins. The stream near Bunch Park keeps rising and nearly to the road. One bridge on Mount Olive Road is completely underwater. It was eventually blocked off, causing those who need to get around to go nearly 20 minutes out of their way. The drainage systems are also filling up all over town, and some say they don't think they can handle much more.
I think they're maxed out. I think they met their capacity yesterday. There's gonna be a lot of property damage. Like from my laundry room window, this creek is only maybe 6 feet from my house now, and like I can't divert any more water, and I'm sure a lot of other people are like that too.
Officials have been blocking off roads that are underwater, but remember never to drive into standing water if you come across it. And take a look at these pictures of the hail from last night. Severe storms rolled through areas like Waldron and Boonville, leaving behind a lot of damage to rooftops and windshields. 5 News reporter Jose Carranza is in Scott and Logan counties, where people spent the day cleaning up.
I'm standing here at Boonville Creek, where you can still hear the rushing water after hours of rain overnight. But for many people, the most damage was done in a sudden hailstorm that left behind a trail of glass and dented metal. The storm began in Waldron and quickly swept north to Ozark. Many residents reporting quarter to golf ball sized hail around 2 a.m. One Waldron woman covered her back window with a shower curtain after it was shattered by hail. In Boonville, crews and homeowners spent the day clearing driveways and roofs after the hail stripped trees and littered the ground with debris. Boonville resident Bill Smith spent his Saturday cleaning up foliage at Parkview Baptist Church, all to make sure things were ready before Sunday service.
What I'm doing is cleaning off the parking lot, the sidewalks for church tomorrow, get all the stuff out of the way. The limbs and leaves are pretty bad, and the flooding is unreal. I mean, the creeks are just going nuts, and it's not over yet.
The creek is full, the ground is soaked, and the damage is done. In Boonville, covering news where you live, Jose Carranza, 5 News.
All right, thanks, Jose. Right now, crews are also working on repairs at the Waldron Middle and Elementary schools. They say the hail caused lots of damage to the roof, leading to water leaks at both campuses. So far, the school district says the damage is, quote, considerable. They say crews are still working to assess everything, and we'll have updates as soon as possible. Also take a look at this video of Lee Creek Park in Van Buren, the Arkansas River reaching all the way up to the trail access sign there. This video was sent in by James Dunn with Van Buren Municipal Utilities. And of course, we always appreciate seeing your weather photos and videos. You can send them to us anytime at our number right there on your screen, 479-785-5000. You might see them end up right here on 5 News or on our website, 5newsonline.com. Floodwaters are also being blamed after a train derailment near Mammoth String. BNSF Railways say a train was stopped on a bridge near the city because of storm warnings. According to the company, the floodwaters washed out the bridge and derailed multiple cars. Nobody was injured, but the BNSF says they're working with Mammoth Spring State Park to clear the incident and repair the bridge as quickly as possible. Meanwhile, President Trump has approved Governor Sanders' request for federal assistance after all the rain and storms this week. That approval now frees up funds for debris removal and emergency protective measures. The governor says multiple rivers across the state had already been impacted by all the rain, and that even more rain will prolong major flooding and will add additional pressure to river levees. The governor adds the emergency personnel are working around the clock to maintain safety. The cleanup continues today in Lake City, just outside of Jonesboro, after a powerful tornado destroyed homes and businesses on Wednesday. The National Weather Service gave the tornado a preliminary rating of EF3 with wind speeds up to 150 miles per hour. But that rating will likely be adjusted as crews with the National Weather Service continue their damage assessment. Meanwhile, groups and organizations continue to pour into Lake City to help.
I'm blessed to see people coming in to Lake City and other communities and our community working together.
For these people, you know, this could be the worst moment of their life, and so we just try and come in and be a blessing to them and raise them up a little bit.
The National Guard is in Craighead County as families there deal with the ongoing flood threat. New tonight, a Salem Springs man is facing multiple charges after police say they found hundreds of files of child sexual abuse material on his computer. Alin Taves was arrested on Monday, and detectives say they found over 200 files of that abuse material after getting tipped off from the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children. When interviewed, police say Taves claimed that he had been hacked and struggled with substance abuse. He is expected in Benton County Court in May. Turning to the Arkansas Capitol now, where gun rights advocates are celebrating a new law signed by the governor. The Second Amendment Financial Privacy Act will kick in later this summer. It bans financial institutions like your bank or credit card company from tracking firearm or firearm-related purchases. It also bans the government from having any record of firearm ownership except for weapons reported stolen. It only applies to in-state purchases. The Attorney General will be in charge of enforcing the law. BPMS, or pharmacy benefit managers, have been in a heated point of discussion among state leaders and lawmakers for years. Now a proposed bill is targeting those companies, but they're not going down without a fight. Rebecca Brown shares both sides of this long-running argument.
CVS Pharmacy is fighting back against a piece of Arkansas legislation.
We follow all Arkansas law, and we have no steerage. We reimburse appropriately.
Chief Pharmacy Officer Lucille Ochetta says she's warning Arkansans about a bill fast-tracked by state lawmakers that targets pharmacy benefit managers.
And also, it's going to force us to close 23 of our CVS pharmacies. It hurts your economy. We're going to have 600 individuals lose their jobs. It's going to cost Arkansas employers more than $6.6 million in increased healthcare costs.
If approved, House Bill 1150 would prohibit PBMs from obtaining a pharmacy license here in Arkansas. That would stop them from being a price setter and price owner, but Ochetta says there are unintended consequences that would come with that change.
There'll be patients that will not have specialty services. It's just a lot of disruption, a lot of harmful care to patients. I would say it would be a catastrophic healthcare crisis that you will have.
Supporters of the bill, like John Vincent with the Arkansas Pharmacists Association, says it will create a fair system.
It's because the conflict of interest that has grown from the fox guarding the hen house, where the company that sets the price of the medicine decides what pharmacy can be used, is also owning pharmacies and setting prices and terms that are more favorable to themselves at higher prices. And that has decreased access, that has driven local pharmacies out of business, and it's unfair competition.
It's a debate that's been going on at the state capitol for several months, and one lawmakers continue to weigh in on Thursday.
But Arkansas does have authority through the Constitution to stop monopolies, and the state of Arkansas decides who has a license and who doesn't for a pharmacy. And the way to implement a law to stop that practice is HB 1150.
According to the bill, BPMs will still be able to operate a business in Arkansas. They will just have to choose between being a pharmacy or BPM, and it's expected to go before the full Senate soon. New tonight, protesters were on hand in front of the Washington County Courthouse in Fayetteville today to voice concerns over the Trump administration. It's part of a national movement opposing President Donald Trump and his policies. They joined in with other protesters in cities across the nation. Large crowds were seen in Denver earlier today. It comes as President Trump visits Mar-a-Lago after a busy week that brought on new global tariffs and a fierce reaction on Wall Street. Christian Benavidez is in Florida tonight with more.
From Chicago to Washington, D.C. and across the U.S., people gathered Saturday to speak out against the Trump administration. They protested President Trump's key initiatives, including large-scale cuts to federal agencies and the new slew of tariffs that have tanked global stock markets.
Their tariffs are not only imbecilic, they're illegal, they're unconstitutional, and we're going to turn this around.
Protesters also took to the streets in Paris, London, and other European capitals.
The policies Trump is following are a threat to the world as we have come to know it and enjoy it as very privileged Westerners.
Today, we really want to send a message of solidarity to our friends and families back in America.
President Trump is spending the weekend at his Mar-a-Lago estate here in South Florida. Some new tariffs on goods imported to the U.S. went into effect Saturday, triggering customs agents' collections at ports of entry. In a post on Truth Social, the president asked Americans to hang tough, calling the tariffs an economic revolution. But many consumers say they are worried. A YouGov poll finds that just over 2/3 of Americans think the price of goods they typically buy will rise. Christian Benavides, CBS News, West Palm Beach, Florida.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will fly to Washington tomorrow to meet with President Trump. Officials say the two will discuss tariffs, efforts to free the Gaza hostages, as well as Iran and Israel's battle at the International Criminal Court. The latest numbers from the Labor Department show the U.S. added 228,000 jobs in March, which is far exceeding expectations. Unemployment ticked up slightly to 4.2%. The biggest gains were in healthcare and transportation, and warehousing saw a boost, possibly in preparation for those tariffs. Federal employment declined amid the president's ongoing DOGE cuts, although analysts say we will likely won't see the full impact of those layoffs for another couple of months. Senate Republicans are also adopting a budget resolution after all-night voting marathon, putting Congress one step closer to enacting President Trump's agenda. That resolution lays out a path towards implementing the president's border security, defense, energy, and tax priorities, calling the so-called vote-a-rama. Democrats offered amendments that forced Republicans to cast vote after vote through the night on highly charged political issues, including Medicaid, Social Security, and tariffs.